Only bands. What up, T? Kales, Brandon. Dead Stock, DMV the sponsor. Yeah. Only bands, only bands. Better make sure you tune in to the part, yeah. Only bands, only bands. They got them crypto conversations going hard, yeah. Only bands, only bands. Even girls dropping out for on the daily. Only bands, only bands. Got that new drip going crazy.
Welcome back, man, to Only Bands, the podcast. TJ ain't with us today. He a little under the weather. I don't know what's wrong with him. He probably faking. So, like, if you watching this, just mention him and just call him soft. But without further ado, man, this one been a long time coming, man. We got the owner, Stop Smackn, in here today. My good man, Drizzy, man. Appreciate you coming up. You know what I'm saying? Making this flight out here, man. Next time we're going to send you the truck, though. So we're going to
need a black truck.
Yeah, you got to get in the black truck. Got to get in the black truck. But like I said, appreciate you for coming on. I kind of just want to start, hop right into it and kind of start, like, from where your roots was, like, Wise High School. That's where you graduated from, right?
Right, yeah. I graduated from Wise 2010. I was an athlete there. I was assistant manager for a go-go band. I was promoting for like clubs and go-go's, and I worked at Giant.
Oh, so you just been having multiple streams of income from before it was, you know how it became cool to say multiple streams of income, but like you kind of been at it since like high school.
Yeah, I was doing it before the terms, like
a thing.
And I don't even realize what I was doing. I was just doing it. You know what I'm saying? I worked at Giant since I was 13. I got into party promoting from my boy Milton. He was promoting for like Ibiza and Fur Club. I just wanted to get in the club for free. So I ain't care about no money. I just wanted to skip the line and walk in and get some pretty girls in with me for free. And then I also was the assistant manager. He was the manager of the go-go band, Milton, and I was the assistant manager. But like I said, I just wanted to roll, and you know what I'm saying? It was just a cool thing to do at the time.
And you said you didn't like even notice really what you was doing at the time because the term wasn't really. We didn't have really social. We had social media, but I feel like it's not.
It was like Facebook.
Yeah, it's not really
MySpace.
where it is now. So like, I guess where did that work ethic? Because for you to do all of those things, you had to have a work ethic. Where did that come from? Who was you watch? You had to be watching somebody to instill that in you.
Well, definitely like I grew up in Forestville, like Suitland, Maryland, and
yeah, we got that on the Wikipedia. Don't worry.
Yeah, so I grew up in Forestville, and I used to see the big boys. They was always fly. They used to drive nice cars. So when I started working at Giant, my main goal was to like get new Jordans, new Nikes, and I just wanted to dress nice, you know what I'm saying, from what I seen with my upbringing. That's what I wanted to dress nice. Far as like the promoting and like with the go-go bands, it was more of a hobby, and like I learned, like I thought it was business then, but it's a hobby until you actually start making money from it. So I wasn't making any money. So like somebody, I forgot where I heard it from, but they was just like, it's a hobby until you make money from it.
Right.
So that was just a hobby of mine. I enjoy promoting. I enjoy posting flyers or passing out flyers and just bringing people out to have a good time.
Right. So now we doing that in high school. We, you know what I'm saying, multiple things you got going on. On top of that, you a student athlete. You got all of these things pulling at you, all these things going for you. We get to college, and what did you major in school?
So I went to Virginia Union. I'm in Richmond. My major was computer information systems. I remember my aunt telling me like IT the future, so like that's where the money is. So I ain't really have an interest in computers, but she just like it just stuck to me like that's where the money is. So I majored in IT. It's crazy because Stop Smackn kind of play a part with this too, because the chef of Stop Smackn, Murph, he went to Virginia Union as well.
Okay.
So like the third week of school, he let me throw a house party for my birthday.
Right.
So we threw a big house party, and he got evicted out of his apartment.
That's a legendary party though.
Yeah.
To get evicted.
But now he my chef today. You know what I'm saying? And me and him started Stop Smackn together. So, yeah, college. We started as Playground Entertainment. So I came up with the name PGE, Playground Entertainment. That was the name for us, throwing house parties and cookouts, and we was throwing free events just to show the campus a good time.
Right. And then I guess so, like, kind of, because I definitely want to get to like the restaurant and the business of everything, and just trying to give people a little background, but. I guess post college, what was the moves? You know how some people get the degree, they don't actually use the degree. Did you get into IT at all? Because like even now we do see like on social media, IT. Your aunt was right. Like, well, auntie, you watching? You was right.
I
IT
wish
is the future.
Yeah,
because everybody is definitely like trying to like somebody could be like I don't know the most most uncommon career, and they like you know what I want to take this IT boot camp and. Right, they trying to transition IT, so it was the future. Auntie was right. What did you do with your degree after school?
So since I was an IT major, but my major required me to take a lot of business classes. So I took finance and banking. I took like 3 different accounting classes, business economics, a lot of different classes that stuck with me and helped me with my entrepreneur journey. IT was cool though. I learned a lot like with like coding and making websites and stuff like that. But I didn't really put my all into it. I didn't really study it. So after college, when it was time to get a job, like I get a few little interviews for IT, but I didn't know the questions that they was asking. I had to kind of figure, and they wasn't going for it. You're not a good fit. You know what I'm saying? So after college, I just was bouncing around different jobs, really. I didn't really have a set job. I was with temp agencies.
Okay.
And
just trying to make some stuff shake, really. You know
right.
What I'm saying? Do what you gotta do.
But that also too, the brand Playground Entertainment was building at the same time. So I was renting out my own club venues at this time and making money from that.
What's cost associated with that? Like renting out a venue. You know what I'm saying? Because
well, things change these days. Like I think the first club, well, actually the first venue I rented out was a mansion in Upper Marlboro. I paid like $3,000 for it.
Okay.
It was a mansion. It was a popular name mansion, Broadwater Mansion. A lot of people threw pool parties there. Allen Iverson threw a pool party there. So I rented that out for $3,000. It was 3 of us all put up $1,000 each. We probably made like a good 5 figures.
Okay, off the party
and split it. In Richmond, you can rent out clubs for like $1,000, $500. Was different. That was cheaper.
Yeah.
So I rent out the club there.
That's today's price.
And
not today's price.
But actually, it's kind of better today. I get to it though. But I can rent out the club in Richmond for $1,000 and keep the whole door.
Okay, like that's when you say keep the whole door, like you mean whatever the door revenue,
whatever the door charge is. Okay. I'm keeping that, and like if I'm selling tables, I keep that, so I can sell a table for $1,000, and they pay for their bottles and stuff separately when they get inside.
Right.
Like that's just an example.
Okay.
But today you can get a club for free. You just get a bar guarantee or something like that. So your bar guarantee might be $2,000, $3,000, depending on what the venue asks for.
Right.
And depending also on your brand name. If they know you're a big promoter, they'll let you keep the door and give you a bar guarantee. So you don't have to come out of pocket for anything.
And when you say bar guarantee, it's just like a price on what the bar make?
Right.
Okay.
So if the bar make this number, you start getting paid.
Okay,
If they don't make that number, you don't make no money.
Got you. Now, you promoting clubs and stuff, and you know at the temp agency. Now, when this because I'm like, what's like the year span on this? It's like probably like your.
So I graduated college 2015.
Okay.
So, like I graduated high school 2010. So Playground Entertainment formed 2012. So that was music and events. We got into. I was a music manager. I was managing music artists, and throwing events. So that's what Playground Entertainment consists of. 2015, I graduated, but Playground Entertainment, the brand, had grown. Yeah. So I have done like shows with Yo Gotti, 2 Chainz, August Alsina, Currency,
The brand's definitely growing.
I work with a lot of artists and did it. Yeah, that was a prime
at
time.
that time. These are the people you wanted at your college.
And even if I didn't book the artist or anything, I made the brand look bigger than what it was. So I make it look like whoever the headline promoter is, they probably reached out to me to help them promote the event. But I'm gonna put my logo on it and I'm gonna push it this is my shit. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
I was good at making things look bigger than what it was. So it's kind of like you faking it till you make it, but it was like in a positive way. Not like buying fake jewelry or something.
I definitely get what you're saying, because just in business in general, like even we got the trucking company. We only got 2 trucks. Some stuff I like to do, like, all right, I know the bigger trucking company's doing this, so we gonna do this like this. So like, you know what I mean? So like, you making yourself seem bigger than what it is, because we got like our name and number on our truck, and people be calling, oh, how many trucks you got?
Right. And even the people with the money or the bigger brands, you might have more clients than some of the bigger companies.
Right.
So the people who invest in these artists, somebody could book Future, but that don't mean they know a lot of people.
Right.
They just got the money to do it.
Yeah.
So they need help.
They still need they need the people.
They need the people to get there and spend money.
For sure.
I always had the people, I had the crowd. Like I was always tuned in with the community to bring them what they want.
Got you. So now, all right, so that was like 2015, and then when this first, before we get into Stop Smackn, super proud of you also, by the way, man. I remember you was like, that stuff was about to open. But I guess college, because we was in college and we argue, me and TJ, which is my cause, he ain't here today, we kind of argue about this behind closed doors. Sometimes on the podcast is college necessary? Or do you felt like college helped you?
Yeah, college.
As far as, because you said you had that business. You had some
college 100% is necessary for the experience.
Thank you.
I went half Stop Smackn. I told you I met Murph.
Right.
The first week of school, like we all the DC guys was hanging together and stuff. So now college definitely necessary for networking, and just because everybody's journey different. I know almost everybody I graduated with all got good jobs and do something within productive. What their major was. Being an entrepreneur, not for everybody. And really, I ain't gonna say but you getting a comfortable paycheck every week is a lot easier than trying to
make stuff shake,
figure out how you gonna get money next week, because every week not a good week for entrepreneurs. I seen Diddy make a post like a couple days ago. I reposted it. Like he said, he still go through struggles on a different level, but entrepreneurs go through so much shit. So,
and I always say, kind of like for what you said, like that experience and the networking, but just also like with some of those business classes, like being able to like come into like, my story, coming in and helping my family's trucking business, like understanding like what a profit and loss statement is, like the balance sheet.
And some of that stuff I had to teach myself, like, cause I didn't know the terms. I know, all right, I made money, lost money, but I had to learn these terms.
Right.
So, it's definitely necessary, because when you start talking to other educated people who
banks,
they could get over on you because of just wording. You gotta read contracts. You gotta read. You gotta
100%.
You gotta know definitions.
And it's just like knowing, because like it's funny because some people like, oh, how did you know how to do that? It's kind of like even entrepreneurship, and make 100% relate to that. It's like you kind of don't. It's always something new, kind of every day. But like the more experience and stuff you get on, like I think that just help your gut instincts to know, all right, this is what we should do. This is how we should navigate this situation. We should do X, Y, Z instead of, doing it this way. So I definitely think college played it gave me a good foundation.
And it teaches you independency early. Like a lot of people who don't go to school, they might be still living with their parents.
Right.
They don't have to do certain things until it's time for them to move out. Like
facts.
You on your own I'm in a city that I never been to.
Right.
Like after school, you done your classes by 6:00, you on your own. You got a bunch of free time to do whatever you want.
And I also think to your success, sometimes I remember in sales jobs, I tried to do a lot of sales jobs. Like when I was in college, I used to sell life insurance. And a lot of times they only want to recruit athletes. And I think athlete and entrepreneurship, you could agree with me or, debate it a little bit. You gotta have like a short memory. You know, I used to say that like in basketball on the football field, like you gotta have a short memory. My coach used to tell me like, if you turn the ball over right here, you can't be thinking about that the whole game, or you gonna keep turning it over.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like even with entrepreneurship,
you gotta keep it moving.
Yeah, you take 5K loss this week or 3K loss this week, like you can't go into the next week with that mentality.
Yeah, I mean, being an entrepreneur, you gonna be broke a lot of times. A lot of times.
Nah, 100%. 100%.
One day you got zero, one day you got $10,000, and then back to zero, and then you got $50,000. Like it's the risk you taking, but you got to find that comfort, and maintain it. Like once it's there, all right, I made this mistake that last time. Let me move a little different. Here.
Like if they,
my mom used to always tell me too though, like don't spend it as you touch, like as you get it. Like so you might get $20,000 for the first time in your life, and you ready to buy some nice clothes and nice stuff like that. Yeah, like make another $20,000. Then
I think that's one of your favorite rappers too. Ho say like you can't buy it twice.
Jay-Z definitely one of my favorite rappers.
You can't. Me and Ant be talking about that too, but you can't buy it twice. Do you really got it? Then once you get it, it got to the point now you're like, I really don't need it right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because once you buy some Gucci, you get a few wears out of it. It don't even fit the same no more. It don't even. The only thing I really appreciate that I bought that I like is my Rolex.
Yeah,
I feel like that was a trophy. It felt good, and it's still worth money though.
Right.
But
and it
appreciate like, it goes clothes, like unless it's something vintage that you can. I got a silk Versace shirt. I feel like I could wear that 10 years later.
Right. That's still going to, you know what I'm saying? People still going, oh, who that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
With that on.
Yeah, material things, it ain't really worth it. Especially as you grow.
All right, so we can definitely, you know what I'm saying, we caught up with, the high school, how you got the grind, where you got it from. We built our way up through college. Now, after college, working the temp jobs, the PGE taking off. Now, when does Stop Smackn, come into inception? Like, when does that start?
So, I mean, everything really still PGE. So, with the PGE journey, like I'm networking, is building, dealing with different music artists. They getting like close, like millions of views and stuff on YouTube. I have some deals on the table. The music thing just ain't work out. Like a lot of people, I feel like they wasn't bringing the same work ethic I was bringing with PGE. But I ended up meeting like 2017 or 18, one of my good friends. We kind of like started taking business more serious. My boy Soup. So me and Soup opened up the studio together.
Soup went to Wise, right?
Nah, Soup went to Forestville. He a little older than me though.
Okay.
But Soup went to Forestville. We had a mutual artist that we was working with, but he was kind of behind the scenes, and he was just showing love from afar. But me and him, when we connected, we both had like powerful minds, and we opened up the studio together. So Playground Entertainment Studio, we locked in the lease for that 2019, and officially opened 2020. But that's when COVID hit. Stop Smackn. Like I said, we've been throwing free events. We've throwing parties. We throwing cookouts, pool parties. I used to throw basketball tournaments, kickball, like anything you could think of, volleyball, picnics. I did it. Like I like doing different things. And I might experience it, and I want to bring this to DC.
I kind of, people don't say this all the time, but I kind of envy that because I be having ideas, but you really do be following through. Like as far as planning events. Like that's like a real, you know what I'm saying, gift, like high key, because some people
I tell people that all the time, like my God-given gift is like hospitality.
Right.
Like I'm good at, and all my events not always like popping and lit, but that's not gonna stop me from throwing another one. Or some people, I'm not a perfectionist, so I'm not gonna sit around and try to wait till the shit is perfect. I don't need the perfect flyer. I just need good quality. I need to know like a certain amount of people is behind me, and we gonna do this event. You know what I'm saying? So I did 2000s parties, all white parties, all black parties, like anything you can name. I've done it.
Yeah.
So with the events, we was giving away food.
Mm-hmm.
So Murph was cooking the food.
Okay, right.
So a lot of people, we just get good feedback on the food. Like, the food is good, you know what I'm saying? So Murph had his own little name, like, for being able to know how to cook.
Yeah.
2000, I want to say 2019, Murph started selling plates, like, on his own. It wasn't called Stop Smackn, though. He was just selling plates on his own. Like, this is my buddy, so I'm taking a liking to him. Like, I like how you take an initiative on your own to sell plates. Like, you been had this gift to make food.
Right,
like,
right.
If you taking it serious, I'm gonna get behind you on this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, he stayed consistent with it. You know what I'm saying? So, he had a name for it. I wasn't really feeling the name, so I was just like, nah, we need a name for this thing. Like, we gotta get a logo made, all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I came up with the name Stop Smackn. Stop Smackn came from, like, my mom always telling me, Stop smacking your food, you know what I'm saying? And when you think of Stop Smackn, it make people think of, like, good food because you smack good food. Yeah. So we made a list of names, and Stop Smackn was one of the joints I came up with. We moved forward with Stop Smackn. I got the logo made. I made the social medias, all that shit, like, same day, like, email, all that shit. Like, all right. But I've always been good just marketing. Yeah. So I just started going hard with it. Like, even when it was times he might have wanted to quit, and I'm like, man, like, we gotta keep going. Like, even if it's slow, like, I'm looking at the social media feedback, like, people fucking with this. Right. Like, we gotta keep going. And that also goes back to college. So one of my boys from New York, he was gonna invest with me on the food truck. So Stop Smackn it started in Murph's mom's house, just selling plates. And I tell people to pull up to this address, but we was advertising it as a food truck. Right. The food truck wasn't existed. Pull up to this address. And you see, that's one of the things you made. So we getting calls from Virginia, New Jersey, all that. They tell us, like, we want you to pull up with a food truck. I'm like, y'all went to Jersey once, right? For some, I don't think so. All right, but I used to just be like, the food truck in the shop right now. You know what I'm saying? We can't make a delivery. Hey, man, I respect it. But we used to do house calls, like, far as if you want a catering or something, he'll pull up and set up in your house. Like I said, I already had the clubs and stuff on lock, so all my club following, all my music following, they following towards the food now. So they call and ordering, like, I'm making good posts, like, of the food, making it look good and all that stuff. So my boy from New York, though, he was going to invest with me on the food truck. Okay. During COVID, so Stop Smackn probably launched the name like fall 2019, but started pushing it during COVID. COVID started, like, once around when I met you in LA. When Kobe passed away. Yeah. Well, that was my birthday. When we came back, that's when COVID was like, we here. So COVID started coming. Actually kind of was a good thing because everything closed. So this is like the time, like, underground chefs is kind of eating. People was because I remember people was making plates. Like, I remember that for a minute. Right. If you was good, you was coming up off that. So Murph is the chef. I'm the marketer. I'm branding. And somewhat like the investor. So my boy, his name Bird, he passed away though, but he was going to invest with me on the food truck, but when COVID came, they shut down the food truck factory. Right. Okay. So it was closed because unless you was an essential worker, everything was closed. Mm-hmm. So as COVID progresses, my boy do put down a down payment on a truck, but he ended up passing away from having a seizure in Miami. He passed away. Okay. So sorry to hear that. Rest in peace. So the food truck was in motion. COVID was in the way. The crazy thing is, I'm remembering all of this because, like, when we met in LA, that's like, all right, when we locked in, follow you to stay in the third. Right. And I'm remembering the food truck. And now I'm thinking about, I never saw the food truck. I was like, hey, it's a food truck. Obviously it is. So I just had a flyer with a food truck on it. Yeah, you did. You know what I'm saying? It said Stop Smackn good. On it. This guy is good. So it said Stop Smackn on it. But for the record, we do have a food truck now. It's launching on 2023. Got you. So yeah, we just pushing the plates. The studio is still, you know what I'm saying? The studio's around. So
when do we get the when is it become all right? We got something going here, like the restaurant. Like well, that's
why I say PGE plays a huge part of this because when I opened up the studio, it got people's eyes open. Like, oh man, he a young entrepreneur. He opened, 2019. We got the lease for the studio in 2019. It officially opened in 2020. So, actually, no, we got the lease 2018. We did renovations. That was a whole journey on its own right there. Like that was my first real business investment. Yeah. So I invested into the studio, but we had to do a lot of work to it. So the time framing on that ain't go as planned. So it took it took like a year to get that joint open.
We gonna talk about the aspect with the restaurant too, as far as like, are we like pulling like investors in and saying like, yeah, y'all gonna get y'all return X amount of time? Are you like just, you know what I'm saying, still grinding, doing, working jobs, you know what I'm saying, to fund it? Right. Yeah, are we going to the bank?
So that's why I say the studio played a huge part. So the studio, it made more people believe in me.
Okay.
So they see that I did this. Me and Ryan, we did the studio on our own.
Right.
Out of pocket, no loans. Like we pay for everything on our pace.
Right.
But that's when you learn about dealing with contractors and you learn about construction and stuff.
Project management essentially.
And then you learn math again because it's like the stuff you learn in school that you hate in the algebra and all that stuff. You learn them numbers why you gotta know these certain numbers with construction because this is what they doing, fractions and stuff.
Yeah.
So we had a pain in the ass with renovations with the studio, but when we finished the studio, it was perfect. Like we got through it. It just took longer. Now that I'm old, I did that when I was like 26, I think, like 25, 26. So it was a learning experience.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And a lot of stuff I went for then, I'm not going for now, like with contractors or the timing, the due dates.
Yeah,
I know all that stuff. I could go build a house right now. I know all that stuff. So the studio though made more people believe in me. So, that's why Stop Smackn started taking off fast. Like Murph is a self-taught chef. He didn't go to culinary school, none of that stuff. So the studio is done. I'm promoting Stop Smackn now. So it's like, oh shit, what he up to now? You know what I'm saying? So people paying attention.
Yeah.
So, and like I'm just good at advertising. Like I was just telling my friend, like you gotta just post, like even if there's nothing going on, you gotta make it look like it's something going on. So I could be in LA and it just look good, and
we make LA
in New York. You know what I'm saying? When you just moving around, you moving fast. It's just like what's going on? You gotta keep them guessing.
Right.
So, you thinking Stop Smackn is already successful or something? Well, PG is successful, so you're just making it look bigger than what it is. So, I used to hang out with my old head a lot. His name Nunu. He was my basketball coach for my AAU team. So my AAU team like one of the biggest programs in the nation. Team Takeover. We got like a lot of NBA players and college kids. Shout out to my fans. Shout out Team Takeover.
Sure. My little cousin played there.
Yeah, Team Takeover.
Shout out Maddie.
Team Takeover, DC Assault. Like you know what I'm saying. They's one of the biggest programs out of the DMV. So he's like a mentor of mine. So I used to always just tell him ideas when I go around. I'm like, man, like I want to open up a club. I want to open up a lounge. I used to just tell him this stuff.
But even when people tell you ideas, you be like, let's do it.
Yeah, I'm telling him the ideas.
Nah, I know, I'm just
but he kind of like he's listening, but he probably think like
he bullshit.
He on some bullshit, you know what I'm saying? But that's why I said the studio open people out. Like, I'm a business owner, you know what I'm saying? I'm not like everybody else. I really do own my own business. You know? I'm not just putting I got an LLC in my bio and stuff like that. Like, I really own a business.
That's the funniest thing, social media.
Yeah, social media.
Like nowadays, when you know,
I be seeing tweets like I got my people be tweeting like I got my LLC today. Like,
we talked about this. I think last episode because I'm petty, bro. Like especially with LLC Twitter, dude, bro. I've looked up LLCs. It's fortified. Bro, I could buy. Yo, this not even you.
I mean, if you're not paying, taxes,
Right,
you don't got a
right,
business.
right.
If you're not paying taxes,
that LLC don't mean nothing if you ain't paying them personal property returns and stuff.
You gotta pay taxes every year.
Got to. But let me ask you this: so, like, what's the planning process? Let's get into the planning and Stop Smackn. Like, did you went to business school? So, like, did you do it to the traditional route, which is, did you sit down and like get into the business plan? Like, was you running numbers?
Yeah, I mean,
how was that?
You have to have a business plan to present to the landlords anyway. So I made a business plan for Playground Entertainment. You got to send it to the landlords. They got to see if you're a good fit. If your idea.
So it's checks and balances basically. Like, you just was like. It wasn't like, yeah, I want to start a restaurant and like, yeah, let's just do this. Like,
yeah, but first, it starts as an idea because you got to talk it into existence,
right?
And you got to let other people got to see your vision. Mm-hmm. So we talking about Stop Smackn, like the name sells itself. You know what I'm saying? Like, we think it's a good name. Like, for example, Ooze and Oz in DC.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Or just I feel like a name sells itself. Nobody even know what the food tastes like. As far as coming to Stop Smackn, you just hear the name.
And I guess when you planning this out, it's like a group of y'all. Just you like how long did the business plan like take to put together? So, like what was the research? Like what was you looking at?
Oh no, so it goes back to like we were selling plates. So all my friends and stuff is supporting it. So Nunu, he worked for the government at the time. He used to come every week and get like pans of wings, and then be like, "Man, everybody at my job love this." So he was consistent. So like I said, this is like my mentor, though. You know what I'm saying? So he's a somebody. Right. So then other people like my old teammates, all that stuff, they calling me like, "Yeah, we want y'all to cater at my house." Like they live in big houses and stuff like that. So we start pulling up to their cribs. They love the food. So the next talks is like, yeah, like I want to open up first it was a lounge.
Okay.
So it wasn't even gonna be Stop Smackn. Stop Smackn I was focused on the food truck for Stop Smackn. Okay. I just wanted to get a food truck for Stop Smackn.
Right.
I always wanted to have my own lounge. Like I came up as a promoter, so I always wanted my own lounge or club. I still want a club, so
I do too.
So, and I know all the step-by-step process to run a club, and it's actually, but we get to that later.
Yeah. We get that off air. Yeah. We got friends.
But
shout out the Bro Gang.
But yeah, so Nunu took a liking to it. And I just, like you said, I started taking action. Like, I'm sending pictures of spots. Like, I'm riding around sending pictures like, man, this joint for lease, this joint for lease. Like from my knowledge of doing commercial leasing now, because I own a studio, I'm like, man, this COVID, like, landlords going to be lenient right now because a lot of businesses going out of business.
Right.
I don't think COVID not going to be around forever. And then this is when they start announcing, like, dates like the city gonna open back up and stuff like that. So it was kind of like
that's crazy because like what you did really is like because you know the stock market is just down right now. So he bought the bottom. Wow. Yeah, he bought the bottom. He was like, nah, like that goes back to you saying like you're not really like a perfectionist because I think in entrepreneurship that's why I struggle at a lot. Like if it ain't like perfect, but I'm getting out of that now as I go further. But I used to have like everything perfect, but I'm learning is as you go, like it ain't always gonna be perfect, and you
it don't matter.
Right.
It don't really. Yeah. Like I say, as long as the quality good, like it's gonna get perfect down the line. It's gonna get perfect down the line. Yeah. So, I'm just riding around looking at like spots that look potential like for leasing. I'm like, man, like I'm sending them pictures. So it was other investors that was gonna be a part of it, you know what I'm saying? But they didn't end up being a part of it. But we still like family, or whatever.
Right.
I had made like a little chat of everybody I think don't bullshit. Right. So I'm like, look, fellas, let's get this spot like right now. Like we all popular, we all know people. Like we'll have a good thing going for the city. We start our own lounge. We already be outside all the time.
I missed that group chat, mate.
I ain't meet you yet. This 2000. Oh, actually, I did meet you. Just after I met you.
He just came back from our birthday.
I did meet you.
Yeah, he ain't know me yet. That's it. He ain't know me yet.
Even Ant wasn't in that chat either, though. Ant wasn't even in that chat either.
I'm messing with you.
But I was just like, like, let's move forward on it. Like, I already got a commercial real estate agent, you know what I'm saying? But this one I learned the levels of real estate agents too. So we started looking at spots, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
gonna be called NOLA Lounge at first.
Okay.
We was gonna do like a New Orleans theme lounge for DC.
Right.
But the news kept getting worse with COVID. Like, it was about to open back up. Then they
nah.
Yeah, stuff still closing. So it was kind of killing everybody's momentum of like doing it. You know what I'm saying? So people kind of fell back like, nah, COVID ain't like really a good idea. So me and Nunu kind of stuck with it. Like, we didn't care about hearing, like, it was places we went to, they said no, we don't think y'all a good fit. You know what I'm saying? Which, it was cool, but we ain't never give up. So me and Nunu, we were like, man, it's COVID, clubs and stuff closed. Like, let's do a curry out.
Right.
So all the restaurants and stuff is booming. Like, the food Stop Smackn. So we like, let's do a curry out. So all right, cool. So we kind of like lowered our expectations down because, you know what I'm saying, we wanted a big lounge club at first. Yeah. But like a curry out, like a small little like 1,500 square feet, 2,000 square feet, like little location.
Yeah.
So we like looking for those. But a lot of landlords was just taking a long time to get back, which it makes sense because sometimes they don't want to move too fast on just from previous tenants. Like, they want somebody long term. They want somebody for 2 years, 3 years. They want somebody that's gonna last. They want to weigh their options. Yeah. So they don't. It's just like my mom used to tell me too. Like, when you go shopping, like, don't go for the first shirt you see. You might
shop
see
around.
You might see something else. You know,
I want that.
Yeah. Like, unless it's like a for sure, like, I'm sold on it. But even when we was looking at locations, every location we went to, like, this the one, this the one.
Especially when you
then we looked at another spot, like, oh nah, this the one. You know what I'm saying?
Especially when you like, this about to be, well, this is really your second, like, you know, building, but it's also like a different business venture. So like, you excited about, so it's like, there's a whole nother,
so like, there's a whole nother lane and like level of life I'm looking at. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Even with the studio, like, I fell in love with the studio, but it was imperfections in that location where I, you know what I'm saying, I was like, we could have did something different. Like, that's why for my next studio, I already got that all planned out.
Right.
And I did everything young, so like, even if it didn't last or whatever, you could do it again. If you did it once, you could do it again.
Facts.
So yeah, we was looking at the carry out locations. But in between then, we switched over real estate agents. And that's why I say I found out the levels of commercial real estate agents. So one of my homeboys, his name Nana, like, he's like a serial entrepreneur. Like, he did it young, like, owned several restaurants, lounges. He got a restaurant in Gaithersburg called South House Garden. So shout out to South House Garden. It's a beer garden, like 4,000 square feet. That's like big. But he killing it though. Like, he don't even promote his businesses. Like, they self-run. Yeah. All he do is be on vacation though. So shout out to Nana. If you ever see this, Nana, man, I'm paying homage.
That's that shit in Old Town?
In Gaithersburg?
Yeah.
It's on the corner?
Yeah, it's like, I get my hair cut.
It's by a train, by the train go by. Yeah.
I've never been there.
It's black owned, man. It's black owned.
We gotta get now. You gotta set that play up.
Shout out to Nana, man. Shout out to Nana.
But
I'm gonna show you his Instagram when we leave. But he popping.
So all right. So we planning the stuff. We going around looking at these venues at Stop Smackn. When did you start thinking about like the startup costs associated with a restaurant? Because you see a lot of, you know,
honestly, I was thinking about it, but
like, or you can.
I was like, when we, I was like,
you got the liquor. Like, how does all of that work? Can you get into that just a little bit?
Yeah, I won't finish with the real estate agent.
Go ahead. My fault.
Nah. He put me onto his real estate agent. So once he locked me in with his real estate agent, I'm just learning more about locations. I'm learning about just the cost of things. Like the rent costs for restaurants and lounges, well, depending on the location, really not that much. Like, it's luxury apartments that be costing more than a lot of commercial places right now. Like, you live in DC, you pay $4,000 or $5,000 for rent or something for a 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom. That's a business,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Not too far from like these Asian curry outs that be on every corner. They rent probably no more than $5,000.
And then
they
in my
make
head,
it.
I'm thinking, I'm like, depending on the location in my head, I be like trying to estimate in my head. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, there's probably at least 30 bands right there,
Nah,
like
like,
20.
The
I just,
Asian,
you know what I'm saying?
especially in the hood, it's cheaper than that.
Oh,
so
yeah,
but them
yeah.
Asian carryouts be in the hood,
And they
rent probably like $3,000. So just say they make that.
You right. That's a penthouse. In
I looked up the
city.
statistics of restaurants.
Yeah.
So the smallest of the smallest restaurants make at least $3,000 a day.
Right.
So you gotta do your homework on that too. So you said about numbers. So
Right.
the average of restaurants make $3,000 a day.
Right. Okay.
So all right. So long story short, we found the location, but the location was 2-in-1. We was looking for a lounge at first, but now we found the restaurant and the lounge.
Got you. Yeah.
And it goes back to, like you said, a solid business plan.
Right.
I had a professional who helped me with my business plan. You got to put your future numbers on there, projected costs.
I think that was the most frustrating part of me because, like I said, school is a good foundation, but it's all like, this is like real now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I say with the projected costs, sky's the limit. So if somebody be like, all right, how much you want to make 5 years from now? Shit, I want to be a billionaire. Like,
right,
you can tell them, but you got to also be realistic. So,
especially
and
when
you got to put
to a landlord or you take it to the bank.
So you can't be saying crazy stuff. And it was during COVID too. So you got to actually put, all right, COVID numbers.
I ain't never think of that.
Yeah, this is the middle of COVID. So we like, all right, COVID numbers we want to make. I'm just using these examples. We just want to break even. I'm just using examples. I'm just saying numbers for example, but we want to make $1 million. Right. In a year.
Yeah.
It's a year.
Yeah.
You don't want to say like you making 100,000 some shit like that because they gonna like, oh, that's not lucrative. That's nothing to them. These landlords, they rich as shit. So
100%.
So we thinking like, oh, we got $250,000, $500,000. They like. That's nothing, you know what I'm saying?
I think even before like loader, even like when I first graduated college, like was like saving up like your first 10,000 and then going to the bank and like, cause in my head I was like, all right, I saved up my first 10K. I want to go to the bank and I want to start investing. So I go to the bank, try to like open up like a little brokerage account at the bank, bank I was banking with. They was like,
that's funny you said that too.
They was like, oh, you need 25.
Somebody I was like, somebody asked me before. They was like, one of my good friends though, like from college. Like I already got like motion going on. He was like, man, I got $10,000. Like, what can I invest in? And I'm in my head, I'm like, you can't do shit. You can't do shit with you can't do shit with $10,000. I was like, honestly, bro. I said, man, like, get some stocks. Like,
I mean, but
that's the only thing you could do.
Trying to do though. Like,
I mean, you could do that on Robinhood.
No, yeah,
though.
but that's what I was about to say. But I took it to the bank and they was just like, nah, we can't, we not even.
Yeah, ain't never. But I mean, you can't even buy. Like, honestly, you can't even get a luxury car with that for real. Like,
yeah, but that's when I discovered Robinhood, and I was like, oh, nigga, I just turned 10 to like 30.
That shit just came out though.
Yeah, but I was so fun. Like to your point, like kind of like just. You know, doing your research and kind of like not looking for the perfect. I wasn't looking for the perfect number to start investing. Right. Like I'm like, where can I invest myself?
But see, that's why I had my gift Tuesday. If I had $10,000, I could throw a party, so I can invest in buying liquor and renting out a venue, stuff like that. And I could, even if I make an extra $3,000, that's good in a day.
Right.
So
100%.
So that's.
All right, yeah, but the real estate. So we had the agent.
Yeah, you gotta have a solid business plan to present to these millionaires. You know what I'm saying? They own several. Well, if they own one building, they own probably
2, 3,
a couple other buildings. Yeah. So even if you're dealing with the property manager, like they gotta go back to their boss and tell them. And they already been down the road probably for years. You know what I'm saying? They dealt with other businesses and stuff like that. Even if it was a good business. And they still might have failed in 3 years, you know what I'm saying? So
and shoot, that's what Stop Smackn coming up on? What year?
We only been open for like 16 months.
16 months?
Yeah, every July 2nd is a year. So
okay, all right.
July 2nd to today, it's like like the 15, 16 months.
Okay, so that's an accomplishment itself because they
they say a lot of businesses. Restaurants have a high failure rate.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They fail like within a year.
60%. Actually, I looked it up for this episode, so it's like definitely congratulate. You gotta drink some of your wine. You ain't drink none yet. We're gonna cheers at it because I looked it up. 60% of restaurants close within the first year. and then 80% within like the first 3 years, and then right, it's one of the
Right.
hardest bit, and for him to, you know what I'm saying,
So,
just give you your flowers.
Like I said, Playground Entertainment played a huge part, and the Team Takeover organization played a huge part. I feel like we know what the people want, and we give it to them. Well, our people too, you know what I'm saying? Like we give you a dining experience. We have pretty bartenders, pretty servers. You get to hear R&B or hip hop music throughout the day. It's like it's our vibe. And somebody brought this to my attention. They own several restaurants too. Like you go to, you know what I'm saying, a white restaurant, you adjust to their culture so they play like nice soft music or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So when you come to our restaurant, you enjoy our culture. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's not being yourself, but you adapt to our culture. This is what we do. This is what y'all do, you know what I'm saying?
So, all right, so let's try to get into like some just startup costs. Just, you know, got to get the restaurant first.
Yeah.
But, that's around, you know, rent is like $3,000. We said the average one is like $3,000.
No, I ain't say that. I say a restaurant statistics.
Yeah, statistically.
They average.
Making $3,000.
They make at least $3,000 a day. That's a rent could be anything depending on your location. If you had, I'm not gonna say I rent. Price,
I'm not asking.
All right, for example, if you're on Connecticut Avenue, that's like Rose Bar, Uzi, stuff like that. Your rent could be from $40,000 to $100,000 a month. Yeah, and then that makes sense to why they sell bottles for 4 times the cost. People like complain like, "Dang, they selling bottles for."
They coming up.
This is why they overhead is high. Right. So. And they're not selling food, so they just straight liquor.
And they only open
4 days out the week, maybe some private events. Right. So they gotta hustle harder because they rent is this high, but they want that luxury atmosphere, so they in the middle of the city. Somewhere like 8th Street, you know what I'm saying, is upcoming, but it's still like it's like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we know. If you know, you know. Yeah. So if you're on 8th Street, your rent could be anywhere from $8,000 to $20,000.
Okay, gotcha.
For similar square footage or similar type of, if you trying to do a lounge, hookah lounge, or restaurant, you know what I'm saying? In and out type restaurant, 8th Street might be for you.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? If you want to be in like District Heights area or like that Forestville, Sula, Capitol Heights area, you know what I'm saying? Depending on what you want to do. Clothing, like retail clothing stores, they a little cheaper.
Right.
Having a restaurant. So you might pay rent from $3,000 to maybe $10,000. This is kind of on the landlord too, because landlord's charged by square footage.
Okay.
So it's like a certain dollar amount based off the square footage.
And now with that, we talking restaurants. With that, you know, now you got your rent. What comes with that as far as now you gotta get your liquor license? So how does that go?
I mean, step one is all right, we lock in the lease.
Got you.
Step 1, lock in your lease. You got to pay your rent and down payment right there. And that's like an apartment too. Like if they feel like you're a liability or anything, your down payment might be higher. Okay. And that's the same thing with real estate in general. Like you might could afford a house, but they might be like, well, it costs this much to maintain the grass of this house or whatever. So they just say any bullshit to try scare you or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So we got step 1 is lock in the lease.
Just the clip right here. This the quick how-to step.
You got to lock in the lease. A good realtor.
Lock in
business plan.
Business plan. Realtor. No, business plan. Realtor. Lock in.
And you gotta have money behind you though.
Gotta have money behind you.
It take money to make money. Like you can have the best ideas in the world. You can yell out you're a CEO on Instagram, all that shit, but I mean, money talks. Like they really want to see millions.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And then how we get our liquor license?
And like I said, that's on location too. Like, and I ain't gonna say a good idea won't win because some people could have a great idea and lock in something and get loans.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
If
your credit
investors.
right.
Like you
investors
put everybody in your group chat. Like, yo, what y'all trying? Like something like. And I think that's what, like, as far as sometimes what I'm just saying, just
people gotta believe in you to have the investors. So, and that's where it start with a business plan too. Like, if you know somebody that's an investor or they got the money and you know they're not really doing too much with their money, but or they already invested in other stuff, you gotta have a presentable proposal.
Business plan. Yeah,
You gotta have a proposal to them. You can't just come up to them on some nigga shit like, yeah, I want to open up a club. Or some shit like
it's
that.
funny. I watched because we was talking about Hov being like one of our favorite rappers. Him and Hov and Kevin Hart did like an interview, and Hov was like at Thanksgiving, he was like, yeah, so cuz just give me 50 and I could turn it to $1 million or something like that. He like, yo, it don't work like, you know what I'm saying?
It don't work like, what you gonna do? I mean, even, we gonna buy a bunch of drugs or some shit.
Right,
like even if you did that, you still not. It's not
still
gonna.
With that.
Yeah,
like,
you're not gonna take.
You know what I'm saying? So like
100,000 and turn it to $1 million tomorrow.
It's
like
just give me. It's just
that
like,
shit is a process with it. Anything is a process. If you gamble the money, you lose.
Yeah.
I'm even mad at it. Like you lost $100,000 in a day trying to gamble on some sports.
So and we saying like liquor license.
We ain't even get. You don't even get there yet though.
Oh.
I'm saying you ain't even get there. You gotta renovate your spot to even get open. So why you worried about a liquor license yet? You're not even ready to open. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we gonna get to the liquor license part.
Okay.
And you can. So even before you get your liquor license, in order to have a liquor license, one, you gotta have a clean background. You can't be no felony. You can't have no parking tickets in DC.
This is the game we need to know.
You can't have no parking tickets in DC.
You can't have no parking tickets.
You gotta pay all the things off. So, like the money you got saved to renovate, you already gonna have to spend that. So I probably had like $2,000 in tickets. My partner had like $3,000 in tickets. His tickets was older than but they eliminated a lot. You know what I'm saying? But step one, logging in the lease. Step two, renovating. But before you renovate, you got how you want this spot to look. So you gotta have an architect. Architect come through, draw out what you want it to look like. You know what I'm saying? All right, cool. You gotta pay for your architect. You lock in solid contractors. We want this project finished by this date. I feel like we did everything in 6 months. So by like the third month, that's when you start wanting to do your paperwork.
Okay, got you.
So that's when you start working on your liquor license. But it's stuff in between. I can't really remember, but like I said, you gotta have a clean record, and then I don't know if a liquor license or health inspection, but you gotta have a list of things completed with your restaurant before you could receive your liquor license.
Right.
So you gotta pass health inspection first.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have your use and occupancy permit for your building. So all this paperwork stuff take like 3 months on it. Well, we paid a lawyer for that too though, so that's another expense.
Right.
Paid a lawyer to handle all the tedious work. So if you don't got lawyer money, that's a whole nother ball,
cash is, what is it? Say jewels cool to, what cars is cool to cop, and more important is lawyer fees.
The lawyers is, like I said, it's levels.
Yeah.
The lawyers handle everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, the renovation process, you know what I'm saying? It might be stuff wrong as they working. Like you gotta get some plumbing fixed. You gotta get HVAC fixed. So it's stuff you're not even thinking about. Like it was just fine yesterday. It might blow out tomorrow.
So I'm hearing a lot. It definitely sounds like, because we talk about the chef, and we talk about
if you want a ballpark number though, just for if you doing it go by square footage.
Right.
Like if you got a 3,000 square foot restaurant, you need, if you want everything to be properly done,
right,
you need like $300,000, like just to open.
Right.
That's not even after you open. You still need more money.
You still need more money because then you gotta make payroll. Then you got, you know what I'm saying? So because employees is not trying to hear that.
But like I said,
we know about that.
I went into this though, I was really going with the flow though. Like I try not to think too much about the money. Like I just got this mindset like I'm gonna figure this shit out. You know what I'm saying? And which we did. We opened. Right. You know what I'm saying? So the construction money, all that stuff, we was already ready for that. You know what I'm saying? So the renovations, and then after renovating, you still need equipment and stuff like that too. So the renovating is not equipment.
Yeah,
so you need kitchen equipment, bar equipment,
liquor.
That liquor not even there yet. Like you're not even there yet.
You
like
always need liquor.
you need liquor when you open. You need liquor when you get your license.
Right.
You're not even there yet. You know what I'm saying? So
you talking about stoves, ovens.
So renovations go in phases. So phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. You don't bring in equipment while they doing construction because it's gonna be dusty and shit that.
Right.
So that's kind of last.
Yeah.
You order used or brand new equipment. It come in. You just put it in place where you want it. You know what I'm saying? So equipment alone, just like bar equipment, that's like 20 bands. Kitchen equipment, like it depends how big your kitchen is. I can't even speak on the kitchen because the kitchen hood alone could be like $60,000.
Right.
So it's definitely not no little boy shit. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, we had our hood already. It was a previous restaurant, so we had our kitchen hood. But the kitchen hood could be the expensive thing. You can't open up a restaurant without a kitchen hood.
What's a kitchen hood for people?
So
who
kitchen hood
is don't know.
It absorbs all the smoke.
Oh, okay.
And like gas and stuff like that. So when they do an inspection, everything got to be under the hood, like a griddle, deep fryer, stove, oven, stuff like that. And some restaurants are bigger, so they might have multiple.
Right.
All of them got to be under the size of that hood.
Right.
You're not going to pass inspection.
Got you.
You got to have a certain amount of sinks in the kitchen, a certain amount of like just little tedious things behind the bar to pass inspection. Like a real inspector come through, there's no cutting corners.
Right.
They gonna have a checklist and like, nope, you won't have this.
Fix this. So
you gotta fix this. I'll be back. Let me know when y'all ready.
Right.
So, renovations finish.
That was definitely like that's definitely a challenge.
Yeah. So I say like renovations start wrapping up around the spring. So we started like January. Renovations started wrapping up around the spring. Then we started getting into the paperwork. The paperwork literally, we opened up July 2nd. So we had everything completed probably 2 weeks before we opened. You know what I'm saying? And then we was anxious to make money. So we like, man, we don't really care what the date is. Like, we just gonna announce the date.
Yeah.
And we gotta get people in here because we ready to make money now.
What's I think what's a learning curve? Because now you went from studio to restaurant, and not to say you didn't have studio. I guess they probably like the people in there was like independent contractors more so.
Yeah, they definitely. They wasn't real W-2 employees.
Yeah, so like what's like the learning curve like as far as management? Because it's something that I don't know how to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I self-taught myself to be somebody's boss basically because I never did payroll. I say even with the studio, I had contractors, so I paid them as they came along, or they paid me directly.
Yeah.
So I had to learn all that stuff. I had to teach myself that stuff. So it's with the process. So these people know that you're about to open up a restaurant. Right. So food vendors, payroll.
They reaching out,
agents and stuff. They coming to you. They finding you, so they know.
Service you use.
ADP rep. They'll come to you.
Yeah. Oh, they see he a restaurant, so he like, we coming to him. We only got...
So after the process of like getting your paperwork together and all that stuff, like the reps they find you. So like U.S. Foods, you see the U.S. food trucks, Cisco, and I want to get to that too because a lot of people think like certain restaurants are better because of like they order their food from somewhere. All of us order our food from the same places.
Right.
You know, so everybody use Cisco, U.S. Foods, maybe Restaurant Depot or whoever, so we all use the same people. So it's definitely the chef. It's the levels of a chef. Like those chefs that go to culinary school and they just learn certain techniques on how to get food out at a certain time. It's like an etiquette behind it. It's a science really behind it.
I think working at I was a server, so like I didn't know like even when because I wasn't a server till college. So, like even when you like young in high school, you like what's taking so long? Or why you ain't doing it? Or why you ain't doing that? And then when you become a server, bro, it's just like, hey, it's a lot of moving parts to this. It's like and then working at especially on no matter what you order. Like some people complain like,
I was here before them, but their food came out. But you might have ordered a steak.
Right.
Like it take long to cook steak. They ordered some French fries or something.
We drop it in the fryer.
So you can't judge that.
Yeah, and then just like being out there, like a lot of these, and we talked about this. We always end up talking about like a lot of the same stuff. What's the small businesses and just like trying to put like I struggle with like having like processes in order or procedures in order. Where like a Red Lobster, they've been doing this for X amount of years and they had time to perfect it. So like a server,
and a lot of that stuff already prefixed or pre-made, it's gonna come out faster. The recipe already is the recipe's solid. So
or just
all they gotta do is really warm it up and it come out good.
Like, just being a server like at Red Lobster, like it's like like they teach all their servers to do the same thing. So like if your table gets seated, you gotta be at your table within the first 7 minutes. They gotta have drinks within 10 minutes. They gotta have their appetizers in within 15. So I'm like, I'm learning this, I'm like, I never knew it, you know what I'm saying? It was all it is.
And that's the beauty of having jobs though. Like when I worked for them temp agencies and college, like you learn things that you gonna have to use when you start your own business, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's good to have jobs if you want to be an entrepreneur. Like, I see people be like, I'm going to quit my job.
I be laughing at
that. Like, how do you learn how things are supposed to be done?
You got to learn how to work with people. You got to know how to talk to people.
Or the entrepreneurs that shit on 9-to-5ers. Because I'm still I'm half in, half out.
So some days I wish I had a 9-to-5 making 6 figures a year. If I'm doing IT, I see people just laying on their couch all day. The little hour they might have to work. You know what I'm saying? That's a guaranteed check every week or 2 weeks. I take that. You know
I always tell people it just ain't for the faint of heart.
But one thing I did, I always prayed, like, I like moving on my time.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I could do what I want on my time. And even when I do have to work, it's for my business. So it's like, all right, I do this, like, because some people might want to stop what they doing to do what I'm doing. Like, I might go to the store for the day. Like, after I do that, that's my job for the day. I went to the store.
Right.
And then I could just bullshit for the rest of the day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but back to, like, the stepping stones of, like, starting it, though. So, you, after the renovating, and then you got to get the paperwork situated. Right. You got to pass inspection.
Okay.
And then you was curious about like the liquor and inventory and stuff like that. So you get liquor reps.
Okay.
So liquor reps and food reps, they will front you your product. They would give you.
I actually was watching a movie on like restaurants and stuff, and like it was like the rep, like how you saying, was coming to the dude because the dude was late on his payments.
Exactly.
So it's like a line of credit.
Yeah, it's a line of credit. So it's a good and bad thing. You don't want to over order, and under ordering isn't too bad. You know what I'm saying? You just gonna have to, you know what I'm saying, figure out how you gonna get more liquor. But if you over order and you can't pay these people back, they on your ass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah. They ain't breaking kneecaps, man. It's just like it just sucks on somebody, you know what I'm saying? So you got own money.
Like, so with the line of credits, like just not even just with liquor, like with everything, like in the restaurant.
But that's a different line of credit. Like getting liquor from them, you're not building credit.
Right, yeah, I know that. But I'm saying, like, if they, like, all right, you owe them X amount, say, whatever, say it's $5,000. Say you owe them $5,000.
Right.
Like, is it like with a regular line of credit where it's, like, interest accruing on this? Or they just, like, we ain't sending you nothing until this invoice, you know what I'm saying, is paid?
They might give you a few chances, you know what I'm saying? Especially as a new business, and if you dependable on paying and you're a consistent shopper, like they gonna work with you because they still want your money at the end of the day. So if you own $5,000 but you just paid them $10,000, and you order another shipment and you pay them $10,000, you own $5,000. Instead of not getting no money from them at all, you gonna still keep shopping with that client. But you could get fronted liquor, you could get fronted food too. Okay. So like I said, through the process of opening the vendors, they find you, they come to you. And then you just tell them, like, all right, we expect to open this day. We want delivery set up for this day, these 2 days out of the week, or this 1 day out of the week.
Got you.
And that's when you learn your flow throughout the week, that's how you know how much to order.
What's flow? That seems like a
So,
restaurant term.
How many customers you get throughout the week. So if you get like some restaurant might serve 100 people a day, 50 people a day. Like you just as you first open, the momentum already there. So we sold out like for the first probably like 3-4 months. We was sold out. Every day was sold out. Like, the reservations was booked up.
Yeah.
So, but we still new to this, so we don't really know like how much to order. What like the numbers was kind of
seasons because y'all was in a COVID season, and that's not really. Yeah, I felt like you know what I mean. Like
we definitely opened up still during COVID. It was still.
Nah, I know that, but I felt like it wasn't like
a full potential.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, because like it was still restrictions.
Outside, but it was the people like me that wanted to be outside.
But I say
he said yeah.
It was mostly the age groups of. Let's say like 21 to maybe 40 that's coming outside.
Okay.
In general.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's an adjustment too. You know, so you gotta learn your customers. You gotta learn your target market, who you want to attract, like what age group you want to attract.
If you could, because it definitely seemed like, you know, Stop Smackn or started basically from plates. If you could advise anybody that's starting with basically the plates, like, well, I guess as far as planning goes, just the quick 3 things that you could get them and just advice on, or quick 4 things that if they trying to pursue a restaurant.
From a restaurant standpoint, I say it's really just how you start. Like you gotta start just hard. Like I said, like once we came up with the name, I'm already making a logo, making social medias. I'm pushing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not worried about other people's opinions. I don't care. Like, oh yeah, y'all should have called it this, or you know what I'm saying? Everybody gonna have their 2 sentences.
Or you
know
got the family members that say, oh, you probably shouldn't do this. You know,
you shouldn't do this right now. It's COVID.
Yeah, you know, restaurants
save your money.
Business,
yeah,
you know?
And then my first thing is like, even if it's your mother, like, what business you own? You know what I'm saying? What school you went to? Did you? So you got
these are questions that need answers.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So sometimes you gotta put your own mother in check. You gotta put your family in check, your best friend. You know what I'm saying, because they comfortable with one way, and something might not work for them could work for you, or the way that they going might not work for you.
All right, that's one. Or kind of like the naysayers, you know, get started.
So basically, just do you. You know what I'm saying? Number 2, you definitely gotta invest in yourself. You gotta invest in the quality. You gotta have good quality flyers. You gotta have.
It seemed like you had a good quality team too. Like
yeah, I always had a good quality like graphic designer or come to merch, like any of that stuff. Like it's just quality. And a lot of people I put in place like that's on my team, like they don't even be realizing they worth. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so like I made like they'll become promoters or something like that just because they was already popular. So that's another reason why I Stop Smackn.
Kind of
like it started going so fast because everybody around me was popular too. Or either an ex-athlete or just doing something that's positive that make people like them. So, well, that's the second thing. Have a team. You need a team. You can't really do it on your own. To an extent, you can get it there, but you need a team of people around you to. Even if you have a clothing line or something, like you can't just always be the person. You can't be the manufacturer, the graphic designer, the person to ship it out. If you want to get to a certain level, you're not gonna be able to do it by yourself.
That's funny. Me and Mech talk about that all the time. As far as like, especially when you starting out this entrepreneurship thing, you try to kind of cut costs or save money by doing everything yourself.
Yeah.
But realizing by doing everything yourself, like it's kind of overwhelmed, wasting your time. The product don't come out as good.
Yeah, you gotta know how to delegate. Like that's one thing I learned with the restaurant too. My partner always tell me, like, man, like delegate people to do stuff for you. Teach them how to do it so it'll be done your way.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? You can't get on somebody. You can't get on somebody for doing something wrong. Like you said, you worked at Red Lobsters and they had a step by step for y'all.
Yeah.
If you don't teach them,
how they gonna know?
Exactly. So you gotta teach people how you want it done. If they don't like it, they can't work for you. You know what I'm saying? They can't work with you. Sometimes it might be hard for some people to find a team. You know what I'm saying? And then if whatever you got going on, if it's good enough that your team might find you, people might reach out to you and be like, man, I like what you got going on. I want to be a part of it. I want to help. Or sometimes you might gotta go younger and get the
you can cultivate
youth
them early.
Yeah, get the youth involved. You know what I'm saying? They might work for free just because they think you doing something cool, or still do something to like a benefit for benefit. Like even if it's like taking them to get a haircut or something. Like yeah, get the youth involved.
So we got step 1, which really like kind of like do you kind of ignore, the naysayers. Step 2 was really like the
form a team,
and
have quality.
Right, and then if we could get step 3,
it's just actions. Like you gotta take action. Like you gotta be consistent. You can't like start something, get a momentum going, and then disappear for a month. And so I get it though. Like everybody go through personal stuff. Like some people like, oh, I got kids on the way, or I gotta take care of my family. You know what I'm saying? But if you serious about it, you just gotta be about actions. No matter what you're doing, don't gotta just be a restaurant. You gotta just be about action. Like put action behind your words and your posts or whatever. Like just actions.
Got you. But we coming up on like an hour 20, man. So we could definitely sit here. We're gonna definitely have Drizzy coming back and talking about, because I'm sure he's gonna keep going, keep elevating. Stop Smackn gonna keep growing. I'm pretty sure Stop Smackn Miami probably be here in a few years. We got the food truck coming.
That's next year.
Yeah,
That's next year.
Yeah.
So the Stop Smackn Miami 2023, food truck 2023, Stop Smackn Express, the carry out that I mentioned before, 2023.
Got you.
After that, down the line, I say 2 years. I'm gonna embrace everything. I want to just, chill a little bit, embrace all my restaurants and stuff. I want to do LA as my last Stop Smackn location. Unless like people, like I already been getting calls like, you want to franchise or invest, you know what I'm saying?
Hey man, I something that stuck out to me, because I don't know if it's our generation or something, but like I do be having in my head like, probably like a year ago, I'm like, yeah, I'm just trying to get to a number and that way I could retire. But like I was seeing like most billionaires, they still work.
I didn't.
You know what I mean? Like you just, but yeah, you do gotta have a Thanos moment and just.
Yeah, you gotta have a pack. I mean, like Diddy, Jay-Z, they coming out with liquor. They coming out with. Like your money just make money at a certain point.
Yeah,
you gonna still take losses though. Yeah. Like everything they do, I'm sure is not a good and great investment. Right, like you know what I'm saying? Saying like, I know Shaquille O'Neal, I was watching an interview he did. He say his first investment in the NBA was Google.
Yeah.
He didn't know nothing about Google. He just met some smart people. They had a great idea. But I mean, Google's successful, but it could have flopped. You know what I'm saying? Right. A lot of people probably took them same chances with other companies and it flopped. But you gotta keep going. You can't let that discourage you.
Also, I can't let us leave without saying, I'm pretty sure you know the importance. Me and Meg talk about it again. Importance of having a good accountant.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially even if you're dealing with 5 figures or whatever, like you gotta first stay on top of your taxes. That's like big. You don't want to owe on taxes. You know, so like. Even for my street guys out there, like if you ever owed your plug or whatever, owing the IRS is worse than owing the plug, man. So don't owe the IRS.
At least the street guy, they gotta figure out where your stash is. The IRS just taking everything out your account.
They taking your account. They putting liens on your business.
Liens on your house.
Yeah, they taking everything.
They the most gangster people I know.
Yeah, the government, man. The government.
Yeah. But nah, man, we gonna definitely have, like I said, it might be in 6 months, it might be in 3 months. I just definitely like sitting down with people. I see a lot of podcasts sit down sometimes with people that it come out that they've been fraudulent. And like I've known you since what, like 2019, 2020, 2019. You know what I mean? So it's like see the growth, see the progress, and like, you know, our friend circle that we have, I feel like is just real elite. And I just like saying,
yeah, shout out to Globe Goat. Shout out to Bro Gang, man. I'm a Bro Gang affiliate.
100%,
man, you know.
100%.
Shout out my man Ant. That's my brother. Like, and if he got a hell of a story, like his story crazy.
Yeah.
So
his story is still going.
Shout out to Ant, man. Hell of an entrepreneur, IT guy, graphic designer. He made my first logo, actually. He made my first Playground Entertainment logo.
Oh, dang, I didn't even know that.
He made my first logo, and he made my first music cover art for my artists.
Got you. But man, like I said, you gonna definitely be back. I definitely appreciate you coming, brother. Appreciate that 100%. I know I was bugging you about it. Every time I saw you, I know when I get lit, I say the same shit. Yo, my boy was like, "Yeah, we gonna get it, Kel. We gonna get it," and he pulled up, man. He took the trip out here to come talk to me. So we appreciate y'all for coming out. I mean, not coming out, but listening to the podcast. If you in DC, if you visiting, you got family coming to town, make sure you tell them go stop and eat at a black-owned spot, Stop Smackn, located
1839 7th Street, Northwest DC, 1 block from Howard, Shaw area, Shaw Metro Station.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in and listening, man. That's out.
Only bands.